Hello and welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I'm Dr. Karen Kan, and today I'd like to talk to you about your three brains. Yes, you have at least three brains in your body, and for the guys, I don't mean that little brain, okay? I'm talking about the brain in your head, your heart, and your gut. Sorry, was that a really off-color joke? Oh well, anyway. Why am I talking about the three brains? Well, let's back up a little bit. Now, you probably already know you've got billions of neurons, right? Like nerve cells in the brain. And of late, scientists have discovered, wow, there are at least 100 million nerve cells in the gut. They call it the enteric nervous system. It's part of your autonomic nervous system. So how you digest food and different things, we think, okay, the enteric nervous system is part of that. And when you have bloating or issues, or you can't poop, or you have too much poop, it could be a disturbance in the enteric nervous system. But in addition to its physical digestive function, those nerves also have a sensing function as well. Now let's talk about the heart brain for a moment. The heart brain is supposedly made up of 40,000 neurites or nerve cells. And that's a heck of a lot more than what I learned in medical school. So it's funny how things evolve and we learn more and more. And that's why I say we have at least three brains in the body full of neurons. The heart brain has been researched quite a bit lately. And thanks to the Institute of Heart Math, they've done some really interesting research. One of the ones that really piqued my interest, and this was shown in the Living Matrix movie. In case you have not watched it, it's a must watch, okay? They showed that when volunteers would look at a screen and they knew that there was going to be some image shown to them, but they didn't know what image. So it could be a very relaxing image of nature, it could be a very neutral image, or it could be what some people would call a scary image, or an image with emotion like war or a spider or something like that. And they connected electrodes to the head brain and the heart brain. And what they found out was very fascinating. The heart would start communicating to the head brain before the image was shown. So the eyes had not registered the image yet. The heart knew what the image was going to be and reacted accordingly, whether it be a stress response or a neutral response or whatever. And I found that very, very interesting. And it's even more interesting for the next week or two because thanks to the ascension or expansion process of our current reality, of humanity, of our universe, our heart brain and gut brain, they're both going through an evolutionary expansion as well. And not just energetically, but physically, which I thought was very odd when I had this conversation with Source the other night. So the heart brain is evolving to be able to discern divine truth better. There's probably a better way of saying that, but think about an evolution of divine truth intuition, if you will. Now, that's pretty handy these days, don't you think? Now, the gut is doing the same thing, but it's interesting how the heart brain is evolving first, then the gut brain is evolving afterwards. And by the time you see this video, the heart brain will have completed its evolutionary upgrade, if you will, of its heart brain, and you'll be well into the evolution of the gut brain. And interestingly enough, sensitive souls are not doing this evolution any faster than non-sensitive souls. And sometimes it's usually the sensitive people are faster, if you will, in evolving some of these parts. But in this case, we're all kind of on the same playing field, which I think is very interesting. And I thought what would be really great today is to teach you the three brain stillness through observing internal movement. The other way to call it is the three brain balancing meditation. And this is what I've been teaching in the Tobacan Healing Level 2 class. We do some in-depth assessments and healing related to the autonomic nervous system. And they're the only ones I've actually taught this to so far. So I thought I would teach it to you as well. It's very, very simple. This is going to be our activation for today. Now, why would this be a good thing? Well, it's called coherence. Coherence, in another way, is kind of like when your head brain, heart brain, and gut brain can all agree, right? They are coherent with each other. They're hearing each other out. You know, they're able to feel out, sense, perceive the surroundings in a way that makes sense, right? That is a sense of coherence. It's sort of like cohesive in a way. Coherence, cohesive. It's more of a feeling than just the word itself. So to be able to access is not the right word, to be able to perceive, feel, and sense. So perceive, feel, and then I'm pointing to my gut, sense divine truth is going to be incredibly handy. It's been quite challenging to do that. And for example, who I used to follow as far as spiritual teachers and authors and things like that, people that I looked up to, it's been rather shocking sometimes and disappointing, certain things that I've learned about them. And and sometimes it can be very severe. For example, I really enjoy Kundalini yoga. I haven't done it in a while, at least not, with a teacher. And the head honcho, Yogi Bhajan, was, a sexual predator. Did I have any idea of that when I was learning, from his students? No. Although there were some little bit of signs that this was not a man that was in balance, but the technology that he shared was pretty darn amazing, and I would feel pretty amazing after doing Kundalini yoga. So that's a very stark example of someone who I followed, who read books, and really was like, wow, that's massive betrayal. But there are others as well, and I'm not going to name names because they're still alive. And, you can ask me if you're in the Health Freedom Tribe. But, there are those that are in the energy healing, spiritual teaching realm who have had, for lack of a better explanation, have had their position usurped or controlled or some distortion. And so divine truth is, although it's not immutable, it is getting more challenging. And so my truth may not be your truth for sure. However, there are certain things, if we share the current reality, of course, if I quantum jump here and you don't, reality may be different. But assuming we're in the same quantum reality, this divine truth may help us really navigate our way safely to the next, place where we really want to go. And because of the cancel culture, I'll give you an example, another example, and just keep in mind some of the words I'm going to use might be a little confusing because of the cancel culture. So there were some free test kits being given away by governments, and my first thought was, oh, you don't get anything for free. What's the catch? Okay, now maybe you say, well, that's being paranoid. Why are you so paranoid? I could say, well, maybe I got it from my mother. She's like, I'm a conspiracy theorist. She never used that term until like the last 2 years. It's so funny. She's really not a conspiracy theorist. She's, what people used to say, paranoid. But her intuition, a lot of times, is right on. It's just that we couldn't explain her intuition until like decades later, like now. Right? So she'd always like, oh, they're trying to hurt old people and they're trying to steal our information. And I'd be like rolling my eyes, at her years ago, and come to find out, actually, that's true. Oh, wow. Sorry, Mom, you were right, Now she calls me a conspiracy theorist. Anyway, I digress. So these free kits were being given out, and somebody had shared this and somebody else is like, oh, that's so great. And I'm like, um, I'm not so sure that's so great. First of all, which one is it? Where did they make it? There's all these false positives. If you're asymptomatic, we know from, preventative medicine and all these years that I learned, Cochrane database and all these things in medical school, which in this case was valid, that if you test asymptomatic people, you get a higher rate of false positives, not necessarily accurate. If people are like not being able to go to work or travel or have to be, put in a housing unit for a certain amount of time, that could be huge, right? So I was not encouraging people to take advantage of the freebie necessarily. Come to find out, this past week, there were several brands, and they were brands given away, some of them still being sold, that had a poison in it, a colorless, odorless powder. And the poison control people in Ohio and Texas were alerting people. Maybe these people didn't know how to do the test or didn't do it correctly, or I don't know. But normally, this particular material is found in pest control and herbicides and airbags, and normally not in anything else. So this did not make mainstream news, as you can imagine, but it did make alternative news. And so, it's sort of like one of those things. You could say, was that a gut feeling, Dr. Karen, or were you being paranoid, right? Well, maybe it's just experience, knowing that when the gouvernement wants to give stuff away for free, you should probably wonder why, right? Because if anything, why aren't they giving out free vitamin D? That totally cuts the risk of the big C, right? Yeah, so when we can have a better divine truth discernment tool, our heart and our gut, as this evolves, this will really, really help us. So I'm really excited about this, and everyone is going through this upgrade and advancement. Okay, so that's really good news. So what I want to teach you is this three-brain stone, or the three-brain balancing technique. And there's a couple of different ways that you can use your hands. If you want to use your hands in this, it is easier, especially if you are, tactile like me. I really like, I'm kinesthetic learner. So one of the things you can do, doesn't matter which hand is on what. You can put, a hand on the third eye like this, like your one finger or two fingers, things like that. And then what you're going to do is connect your heart, your heart brain and your gut brain together. So you can actually, stretch your hand like this or like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually put your thumb of the other hand right at the base of the heart, like here. And this is an acupuncture point. There's two there. There's conception vessel 14 and 15, and they both are connected to the heart organ and heart meridians. And then you want to put your pinky as close to the navel as you can. Now I'm a pretty long torso, but I can actually reach that. But if you're bigger than me or taller than me, you don't reach it, that is completely fine. All you want to do is, have your thumb on the base there and then just project energy from your pinky to the belly button. Okay, so that way I have my hand like this, like this, and then I have the other hand like this. All right, so what you want to do is go ahead and close your eyes. And then what I want you to do is feel underneath your fingers, the ones on your forehead. So go ahead and feel that. And imagine your fingers are feeling your forehead's feeling the fingers. So go ahead and go back and forth and just kind of notice each thing. So when I'm focused on my fingers, I feel kind of like, a slightly oily area. And it's hard because it's my skull. And then when I focus on the skin of my forehead, I feel some coolness because my fingers are cool. So I'm kind of paying attention to that. So then go ahead and shift your attention to your thumb that's at the base of the heart. So now what I'm doing is I'm feeling the thumb, feeling the chest area. It's like the xiphoid process. And now I'm switching my attention to the xiphoid process, feeling the thumb pressure. It doesn't have to be hard, just a little pressure, just so you know it's there. And then go back and forth. So the thumb, I'm noticing the thumb, feeling the chest. And now I'm noticing the chest, feeling the thumb. Okay, good. And then now go ahead and switch your focus to the pinky in the belly button or near the belly button or projecting to the belly button. So go ahead and feel the pinky touching the belly button, what that feels like, what your shirt feels like, the temperature, put a little pressure there. And then go ahead and do the opposite and have your belly button or that belly area feel your pinky. What does that feel like? I have to press a little harder in my case. There it is. Okay. So now I'm feeling the belly button feel the finger. All right, so now what I'd like you to do with the hand in the same place, and you can always switch hands if your arms are getting tired, go ahead and notice all 3 points at the same time. Remember to breathe though, don't hold your breath. So go ahead and just notice the feeling of the head, heart, and the belly simultaneously. What you might notice under your hand or fingers is that there's energy moving. And you might even notice that the energy movement may go up and may go down. It may even out. And oftentimes that's exactly what happens, is that it evens out between all 3 areas. Now I tend to have more energy in my head. So for me, I can feel more energy traveling down or going down. So I feel less energy in my head now, and it's kind of balancing out between the 3 brains. And what you can do as well as you feel these 3 areas is make the intention or even say the word coherence. You can say it out loud or underneath your breath, coherence. The other word, if you're like, I don't know what that means, you can say balance. Let's go ahead and say balance. Balance, coherence. Yeah, I get almost like a shot of energy down all 3 when I say that. So now I'm feeling any pulsing, waves, anything in these 3 areas. And just making that intention for them to balance, become coherent. And there you go. I know that was kind of long because I was describing it all, but you can do this periodically throughout the day, especially if you're feeling a little frazzled or, feeling that you would like to connect to your intuition better, especially your, heart intuition, your gut intuition. The gut intuition is coming online probably within about 7 days or so. That will totally be, maximally evolved or upgraded, if you will. Like I said, by the time you watch this video, the heart brain will have finished, which is really, really cool. So let me know in the comments how that feels when you do that little 3 brain stoem or 3 brain balancing. How do you feel emotionally? How do you feel physically? Did you feel any energy? Please post in the comments below. I love, love, love reading your comments. And by the way, if you're new here, please click like and subscribe, and feel free to share this video with anyone who you think might benefit from it. So a few announcements for this week on Light Warrior Radio. I have the pleasure of welcoming back Dr. Dennis Lobstein, who is an Asian medicine specialist in Chinese medicine, and he's going to be helping people with Q&A with the LifeWave phototherapy patches, where to put them, what points to use, which patches to use, and you can get your own personal protocol from Dr. Dennis by just calling in live and letting us know what issues you're having, what symptoms you're feeling, and he might ask you a few questions, and then we can get a protocol for you. We also have a Facebook events page, so if for whatever reason you can't make it to the call or you want to be first, what I highly recommend is go ahead and post your question right under the image of the event, so I see it and we'll deal with your question first. And as usual, every single month I write a blog article that summarizes all the different answers and all the different questions that are asked, so you don't have to necessarily frantically write notes. It is usually a pretty long show because we get a lot of questions, So if you're a little nerdy like I am and want to learn more about Chinese medicine, acupuncture points, and how to use the patches better, then definitely join me and Dr. Dennis on Monday at 12 noon Eastern. I'll put the link near this video. And some other announcements, some cool stuff. Last weekend, I recorded a new video, Healthy Habits, Healthy Life video. And this one is actually on the concept of stillness, but with a little hack. So a stillness hack. So for people who have been reading my book, Sensitivity is Your Superpower, Chapter 4, I say it's the most important chapter in the whole book, that procedure, stillness through observing internal movement, really step by step outlined in the book. If you have some trouble feeling, because you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm kinesthetic or I'm a feeler, I don't know if I'm clairsentient, this hack is going to be really helpful for you. So I'll post that link near this video as well, so you can check out the latest as well as the whole playlist. Every single week there is going to be a new video. I usually do the video live either on a Saturday or Sunday, so maybe one of these days you'll catch me live. I stream it live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And if you missed the mini healing, by the way, last Tuesday, that was super fun. We did a lot of group healing and some individual assessments as well. I'll put the replay link next to this video. And then the other thing I want to share with you is that we have a brand new certified level 2 Topican healing practitioner. Her name is Tammy Gilchrist, and she is amazing, a star seed person, and she's excited to work with you. If you would like a little free, mini consult where you can check out whether you're a good fit, whether what her specialty is a good match for you. I will also link her bio page to this video. Now keep in mind, we are changing bio pages soon to a new platform. So if you are watching this some months or years after when it aired, it may be different. It may be different, but you can find or will be able to find the bio page on our website. When we migrate to the new website, we'll be making all new bio pages for all of our practitioners. So check out her bio page, and hopefully you'll feel like, hey, getting a consult with her. All right, so some upcoming events I want to tell you about. Number one is, if you have not already registered, please do register for the UWealth Revolution Telesummit. They have some amazing guests this season, and I am going to be airing my live interview with Darius on April 11th. So mark your calendars. April 11th at 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And the topic, drum roll, is how to heal your many lives. Yes, timeline convergence and the evolution of humanity is the subtitle for that. And we'll be talking a little bit more about the package that I'll be offering at a very low price. If you want to work with me, we are going to be doing some live group healing sessions on some of the pretty profound protocols that have, some of them anyway, that have been created this year, brand new with Topican healing, and I want to make sure that people have access to that in case you're not in the level 1 program or you don't want to do it yourself and you want me to do it with you, for you. So that website is karencan.com/YWR, which stands for UWealth Revolution. So that is my affiliate link, so definitely click that link, sign up, please, please, please. The other thing is, I was on a really cool podcast with Karen Maloney recently, and it's called Curiosity and Consciousness Podcast. I'll put that link as well, and it's all about empaths and how to protect yourself as an empath energetically. And the other upcoming event is on Wednesday, I believe it's the 16th. Let me look at my... Yes, Wednesday the 16th of March, at least in this part of the hemisphere, of North America hemisphere. It is a 3-hour workshop with my mentor, my friend and mentor, Marcus Bird. I am currently in his Velocity coaching program, absolutely loving it. And so this workshop is about the new paradigm of coaching. And he's going to show you this amazing model that he created where he could do the work of a coach, previously 1 or 2 hours long, and get better results doing his method, his 3-minute coach method, in 15 minutes. Yeah, amazing. And it is amazing. And I'm practicing as a student right now, this process. So if you are a coach, a mentor, a practitioner, a healer, or you want to be any of those things, I highly recommend that you check out this 3-hour workshop. He is giving me a discount code for you guys. So definitely click that link with the discount code. And I really hope that you can attend live. I should be there live. So I hope to see you there. And that is it for this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, would love to hear from you. Would love to read your comments underneath this. And please subscribe and like this video, subscribe to my channel. And I am looking forward to chatting with you next week. Bye for now.